Hello, everybody. Welcome to this exciting episode of Bob the Sign Man. Today, I'm going to show you a little insight on how I been tracking the last devastated fire we've had here. This is our second fire in 2 months. This is called the glass fire. It's burned a tremendous amount of damage in the valley here. Let's take a look and see what the old Sign Man has for us today. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to this exciting episode of Bob the Sign Man. I had quite a few actually, people asking me how things are going here in Napa County, and they're doing well. Where the fire's kind of out. It started on September 27th, and it burned through. They got 65% containment. It's burned kind of the northern top of our county practically off, and it's in some other counties now, and so it's for now it's left our county, but the devastation that it left is something else. I'll show you a few little pictures, not many. I don't like to get into a lot of that stuff. I'll just show you how intense the fire was. So like I said, a few people asking also, how are you tracking this? How do you prepare for this? Well, unfortunately it's my third major fire that I've been through. So you just have to prepare for the worst, stay focused, try to get organized, wing it. That's what I did too, a lot of winging. And like I said, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. And so I'll show a little video on how we figured out how many signs we need, where they're going to be, and then the landscape just totally changes. Now you have PG&E in there digging holes and everything, disturbing everything. So in about 2 weeks time, I think I should have my signs back from the vendor, and then we're going to start installing them. So let's take a look and see what kind of behind the scenes work is involved in this. All right, well, here's a little bit of the glass fire, a few photos that we have here. There's the iconic Welcome to the Napa Valley. And here's what we had. This is Palisades on Silverado Trail. Just burned the whole mountains. This is up in Deer Park, burned churches, schools. This is people trying to escape on Silverado Trail. We lost Meadowood Country Club. The damage just ripped through. And then comes my part here, the traffic signs. Just sign after sign. Destroyed, burnt. We have to figure out a way to track all those and find all those. So, the smoke was pretty bad, but hey, we got through it. We just hopped in our old sign truck, and away we went, and this is how we did it. Okay, here we go. Here's my Esri GIS program that I've been using. I think I showed a previous video on it, so this is a little quick introduction how I've been tracking those signs. So I have to go out and collect the data to start with to enter it, but here's what I have. I have this program that will follow along. You can do it on a cell phone, you can do it on a tablet, and what it'll do, there's another program, it's called Collector, and you'll drive along, it'll be a little blue cursor, and you'll just drive along like this, and you'll see it move, and then the map will move with it as you're driving down the road. And it goes pretty fast, depending on how the speed of your vehicle's going. So then when you get close to a sign, it'll actually put you right exactly where the sign is. So what I've had some signs that were damaged in this fire, the glass fire. And so we had to go out and collect the data. I'm going to show you the notes that we had to start with. But here's what happens when we collect the data using the Collector app. We'll pull up to the sign. We'll write down what it is on a piece of paper. I'll show you that later. And then I'll go in and I'll open up my map. When we're right by the sign, I'll open up the sign specifics here. And it gives me the location of the sign. This is sign number 919, and it tells what it is. It's a W1-8 to the left, which is a chevron. The milepost marker, the road name and number. Another description of the sign, what kind of support it's on, the size of the sign, the sheeting that's on it. The county of Napa made this, the sign crew installed it. The current sign status is active. It has little drop down menus, and you can change them depending on your needs, whatever, if you different sizes or whatever. Same thing when you it's got a menu for the MUTCD when you install a new sign. Get that back. And then this was the 2020 glass fire. It's a project number. I'll show you why that project number is important later, or project name. And then what you do is you take some pictures of it. And then what I did is on 10/7, which was I believe like Wednesday or something like that, we go out and we replaced a few of the signs that we had in stock, and then when we get them back from the contractor, we'll take the ones that the contractor made, put back in our stock to replace the ones that we used. So here's a photo of the sign before, and I use this little whiteboard. I have this little magnetic to show before, and it needs a sign because the post is still good. It shows that the ID number and the milepost marker. And then after, I have an after photo of what it looks like after it's replaced. There's the marker 919 is the sign number, not name. And that's what it looked like after. You can see the damage, the guardrail. That's another story in itself. But actually, don't think vineyards can't burn. Look at this vineyard here. It burned up. So that's what we're using to track this. And what we do is we just drive down the road, and it'll show me every time we pass by a sign. You can see these little white dots. It lets me know that there's a sign nearby. So if I'm driving, and all of a sudden I get up to a sign and I go, oh, there's a dot but no sign there, we'll go in. This is a bike lane sign, and I think this is one that we found that you couldn't see the sign standing up, but there it was on the ground, and it put us right next to the sign that we needed to replace. And somehow this thing will reuse the sign, but it just needs a new post. So this was a valuable tool that we used to collect this data for this sign. And then, like I said, as you're driving along on Silverado Trail here, you'll come up to the signs. And this area, I believe here, is now gone. Yeah, this is a public refuge sign that's damaged. It was gone. And then this sign right here, like I said, this whole area here, this whole mountain and everything, it's gone now. There's just nothing there. All those trees are gone. As you can see in some of the, I don't have the photo in that one just yet, or do I? Yeah, I do have it on this sign face here. You can see all that. All these trees have been removed because they're just dead now. So it was a good, valuable tool to use that could help locate missing signs. Okay, now I'll show you. We'll get into some more of this on the more tracking that I had to do. Once I got all these entered into my sign program and the notes, this is where the work starts. Okay, this is where we started. As we were going along, and I was showing you how the cursor moves and we can find the signs. Locating the signs, we just drove up and down every one of these fire roads that was damaged. And so Jose was taking the notes, and we have the ID number and the sign number, and then we're showing if it needs a sign or a post to be replaced. Some of them just need a sign because they were probably on the metal post, and some of them need both signs and post. So Jose took the notes. He took all the ID numbers of the sign and what the sign was, so we could put it all together in our database. So while I was doing that, Jose was writing down the notes, and we had to take all our notes back to the office, and we had these little forms here. I tried to make it easier for Jose to take the notes, but this kind of made it a little bit messy, so we went back to a little harder there. So we just went back to our regular field notes, and then we had to decipher those when we got back, but we had them entered into our Esri program. So that was one step that we took to get where we needed to be, but we still had more steps. Okay, once we got our notes all together, we looked at the notes, and then we had to figure out, okay, how many signs do we need to order, because we had 161 damaged signs. So what we had to do is I created this spreadsheet. We took all of our signs, like here's a W1-1, that's the MUTCD number. It's a 36-inch sign. We need one of those. And then it goes down the list on how many we need, the size that they are, the kind of sheeting that we want, because this is what I'm going to send out to our vendor to get a bid for. You know, the 60-inch sign here with the frame added, the W13-1s with the supplements that go below some of these signs here. Just various signs that all got burned up. So I made this spreadsheet so it's easy to send out to them. Then we had our custom signs for our roads here that they're going to make for us, like Silverado Trail. You can see the empty spot there. You think it's off center, but that's where our county logo goes. So we'll make those and put those up. And as you can see right here, it turned out to be a total of 161 signs. So I sent this out to bid. We're going to have a contractor, or a vendor, I guess you want to call it. They're going to make the signs for us. So this sheet here is it helped by the field notes that we had and that program Esri that we're using. So that's another step that we had to do, but there's still one
All
more
right,
step
here
to
I'm
go.
back with my Esri program again. Now I have to pick out the signs that were damaged by the fire.
So this is just an overview of every sign that I have in the county. Okay, so what I want to do is pick out the ones that were just damaged by this fire. So what I'm gonna do with this program then is I'm gonna apply a filter, and it's gonna be under a project. I think I showed you there where I put the 2020 glass fire, and I just want to that contains. Okay, so we want the 2020 glass fire, and then I'm gonna apply the filter. And what it's gonna do, it's only gonna show the signs that were damaged in the glass fire. Um, so all of these have been damaged in the glass fire. Um, as you can see, I have the before and after photos of the signs that were damaged. Some of them just got like heat damage or just needed a post. So now what I want to do is, now that I have all those in there, I want to pull up a spreadsheet on those. I want to make a spreadsheet out of the Excel. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to my table. Okay, and I am going to go under my projects that you can see right here. So once I pulled up that filter, this is all the signs that were damaged by the fire. Okay, on my this is kind of like an Excel sheet. So I go into another version of this program called Pro. It's a little bit more complicated. I'm still getting familiar with it. But anyways, what I did is I extracted all the information out of this, and I made an Excel spreadsheet that shows the MUTCD number, the description of the sign, the milepost marker, and it's all by road and by milepost marker, so that we can find out. And here's the description of the sign. So when we go to replace the signs, we'll have our iPad with us, and it will follow us down the road if there's any signs missing. Well, not if, it'll for the missing signs, and we'll be able to pull up a road here. Here's some of the fire damage signs here, and like I said, the cursor will follow along, and some of them we'll be able to see because they'll still be standing. The ones that aren't standing, I have an instrument in my truck that'll kind of show us what milepost marker we're on. But anyways, I made this spreadsheet, and what we'll be able to do is, it has the ID number of the sign, the road location, the milepost marker, which direction it is. It's a bike lane sign. It's on a wood post. Well, that wood post is probably going to definitely be gone. Any of these signs that were in the fire, all the wood posts, if they're gone. Then I can make the notes like when the sign was replaced or whatever, and then I have these extra columns if I want to put, I replaced the sign, I replaced the post, what kind of sign I replaced. Some of these will have, maybe two signs on them. So this is what we did. We went out in the field with our Esri program. We took some field notes. We came back. I made out the bid sheet. I send that back out. And then we have this Excel sheet. So now when our signs come in, we're ready to go. So that's a little bit on how I prepared myself to replace these fire damage signs.
All right, there you go. Well, there's a little bit, little overview on how we went about tracking them, and preparing our documentation for FEMA, for my records that are going to stay permanently on that, associated with that sign ID number. You'll have the before and after photos, and it just tracks all our maintenance that we've done. We started with the field notes with the Esri program to start with out in the field, which is a great app. And then we took that into the office, broke it down into how many signs we need to order, made that spreadsheet. And then I took that program, opened it back up, and got the Excel spreadsheets that show where they go. And then I can check them off as we install them and make sure. And that way we're going to make sure we're not going to miss any signs. And then this year when we do our night reflectivity checks, we'll take our tablet out with us, and it'll go along, and we can double check and make sure we didn't miss any of those critical signs or anything. But I'm pretty sure we got them all. Alrighty, as always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next exciting episode of Bob the Sign Man.